All right. It is Thursday, August 4th, 2022, 6:38 a.m., and I'm living near Amsterdam in the Netherlands. And yeah, currently on Ecstasy, MDMA, Molly, whatever you want to call it, though they are different things. But a lot of people don't really know that. But yeah, currently on it. This was a breast pill, and I forget how many milligrams. I think it was like in Europe, from what I read, they're a bit average, higher than average. And so, if I recall the number correctly, because I don't feel like researching it right now, I think this was like 200, close to 200 milligrams. So it's stronger than average, and it's very, very good. But right now, it's like an hour into it, because it takes about an hour for it to affect me anyway. I'm sure, everyone's a bit different, but it was pretty similar, I'm sure. But I'm a pretty big guy, and I have a high tolerance for things, for everything, so I don't know, I'm sure other people might hit them in like 10 minutes. Well, probably not 10, but anyway, not getting off track. As you can tell, I'm on the peak right now. Well, maybe not the peak, but it's coming on, and I'm riding to the peak. For me, it takes about an hour to feel anything, and then about an hour mark, start feeling like horrible shit, like literally, like the weight of the world has been put on me. I don't mean emotionally, but I mean literally physically. Like you feel so tired, you feel like you just want to go to sleep. It's like a super strong indica feeling, um, and I really don't like that part because I like to be in control. I like uppers, not downers. Probably my trust issues, but also just because, I don't know, I just like being alert, you never know. And also, I just don't like feeling like a zombie, even if I'm just like in my room and I know I'm completely safe. Um, I want to experience like life in the most vivid way possible. So I don't like downers, I like uppers. But, what I realized with this, and I think it's probably the same for most people, is after about an hour, then for me it's like 10 or 15 minutes of feeling like pure shit, like just super tired, like you just want to curl up in a ball and just go to sleep. Um, just like a zombie, like your fingers weigh like, 100 pounds or something each. But but I don't know. I think for some people it might hit them and they probably wouldn't even be able to get up, I'm guessing. But me, I'm pretty stubborn. I have a pretty strong will, and I'm definitely, I would say, very experienced by now with a lot of different things, substances, psychedelics. Um, so, and I do a lot of research. I take baby steps. So, I think I could handle it better than most. So, like even right now, I just wanted to test myself, and I was feeling like I said, like I weighed 1,000,000 pounds. Sorry, I don't know kilograms. Um, but yeah, I still said, okay, let's see if I can will myself to be able to take control and do whatever, just in case. I don't know, like let's say I was out there in a club or something and it was like a dangerous situation or somebody starting trouble, or I don't know, I just wanted to be able to move or go somewhere. And yeah, I did it. Like I can will myself. I just jumped out of bed, went to the restroom, peed, because that's what I needed to do, and then came back. Obviously washed my hands too, but anyway. But then once I came back, then I started curling up in a ball again. And right now I'm feeling like I'm just coming out of that. But yeah, the point is I can will myself even during that zombie state to be able to take control. But still, I don't know. I think most people would be really hard. I mean, even for me, it was hard, but well, not really. Once I said, okay, I'm gonna get up, I just got up. But anyway, everyone's different. But that's the whole point of recording this. I'm recording my experience and trying to help people, inform people, just like to know what to expect. But yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing that human beings have created. I mean, we're living in the future now. Like you can just take a pill or a tab or something, and it activates like, you know, uh, these incredible levels of human perception that are very, very hard to attain Otherwise, maybe if you did like, 50 years of meditation in the mountains or something. But yeah, especially in this life that's always moving so fast and now with technology and everything, you know, it's a lot harder to connect with like your spiritual side. So these things, I mean, just like biting a little pill. Oh yeah, and by the way, they're bitter as fuck. I hate the taste. It tastes so disgusting. You feel like gagging when you like as far as these press pills. There's other forms. There's like MDMA, like crystals and gel tabs and stuff like that, which I made before. I actually cut up a bunch of crystals myself, like about $300 worth, weighed it, and put it in like these little gel, what they were called, gel capsules, because the body needs that to be able to digest it. If you just like swallow the powder, it won't do anything from what I recall. So the gel capsule basically protects it, brings it into your digestive system or whatever it was. I forget, I have a shitty memory, but anyway, yeah, I did all that. I weighed them out and everything, and I called them my special doubles because they were like double dose. Anyway, that was years ago, but that's another form of it. Like I said, that's MDMA, and really it's all. But press pills are very, you know, it's. I honestly have to say, if you ever want to try it, to make sure 100% that it's from a trusted source and test them if you can, because ecstasy is one of the most volatile, corrupt, what's the word I'm thinking of? Impurities. Like it's the one that's cut, like it's one of the most popular ones that's cut like the most with all types of shit, like literally shit. Like it could be who knows what, people could be selling all types of shit because it's like a pill, so it's like cut with all types of crap, so they can make a profit, more of a profit. So it's one of the most impure things you can get, one of the most risky things. So I honestly don't really recommend it for like inexperienced or like new people. But if you're experienced, or you know what you're doing in your research, and you have a trusted source, or maybe even it's yourself, um, you know, then yeah, it can be good. And I can tell this, it came from a trusted source. It's very good. I've had a lot of different types of it. I can tell this is high quality, high grade stuff. Um, but yeah, like I said, that first it's like an hour and then like 10 or 15 minutes of feeling like shit. And then right now, when I started recording this, I was basically coming out of that and going into like hyperdrive, because that's basically what it does for me. It's like 10 or 15 minutes of like feeling like a zombie, and then it's like about an hour and a half to 2 hours of like super ultra like maximum like Super Saiyan mode. That's how I feel right now. So yeah, I think it's time to watch wrestling because that's what I was gonna do, and I've been trying to watch it forever, and I keep like getting sidetracked, and now I'm recording this too, but I had to because yeah. Anyway, the point is it's amazing, and yeah, you actually see even some hallucinations or whatever you want to call them, visual, what do they call it, open eye visuals, like similar to psilocybin, actually. I couldn't believe it, like, because I haven't used this much. I haven't used this much, like here, this type, like press pills or whatever in Europe. Like, it's only been a few times, and I would say it's very impressive, very powerful. Like I said, you see some minor, open eye visuals and closed eye visuals, and there's these like golden ribbons like hanging outside my window, my door, and I swear they were like moving almost like LSD or DMT. It's I don't know. It's one of the ecstasy. It's one of those substances I've done the least, just because I don't know. I just, like I said, because it was sort of risky, and I just wanted to try other things, but that were more secure and mind altering instead of. I mean, this is just not just like a party thing. And party thing, what does that mean? That's experiencing life like in a beautiful party. That's incredible. Things are so easily disregarded as, oh, it's a party drug or whatever. A party's like a pure bliss in life. That's great. You're telling me it's like something that can let me experience like a pure bliss, all the blissful, incredible, amazing feelings that exist in life. Yeah, sign me up for that. But anyway, so that's sort of like ecstasy, and yeah, I guess maybe I was thinking of it too negatively before in the past too, when I really shouldn't have. I should give it more credit. It does have its own place amongst these incredible substances. It's quite beautiful. Oh yeah, now I'm feeling like the loving feeling. Yeah, it's definitely time to watch wrestling. But yeah, so you start feeling loving and just so full of. It's like a. Oh yeah, that's why I want to record this. But I want to say it's like a warm blanket just came over me. It just feels great, like just amazing. So this will probably last, I hope, for like about 2 hours, and then it'll be like they come down, and then they have what they call Suicide Tuesdays, which is really cruel because suicide is a horrible thing. But they should call it something else, like Blues Tuesday Blues or something. But basically, because usually people go on the weekend, and then like a day or two later, it hits you, and you experience this like really low mood because it's like your what are they called, like your dopamine and serotonin and all these different receptors basically have been like sucked dry because they were like, they put into overdrive. So once they're sucked dry, you're gonna feel like shit. And yeah, I mean, you could really feel like really emotional and like cry, and it could be really bad. So you have to be ready for that. You know, it's like a high, but then you pay the price. Thankfully, it doesn't last that long, at least for me. It just lasted like the times it's happened with this anyway. And that's why you have to stick to the same substance too, so you know like what to expect. And that's why I'm recording this actually. But yeah, the times that I've taken this is it's just been like an hour or two of like feeling low. But the second time, the first time it was the worst, but I was also going through some crazy big life changes, and um, but the next time it wasn't that bad. I just felt like a little low, and then it passed like after like an hour or two. It wasn't that big of a deal, to be honest. Like I say, it's way more good than bad what you get out of it. So, like I said, I don't recommend it for new users because it's just too risky. I think unless you're 100% sure about like who you trust and what you're doing. Um, I don't recommend it for new users unless you're 100% sure about it. Like I said, from a trusted source, and you're like it's like your best friend or something, or you tested it, or you know what you're doing, or you've done heavy research. I'm just saying, yeah, it's one of the most risky ones because it can be cut with all types of weird shit that could affect you in all types of weird ways. You really gotta. It sucks because a lot of people do use it as sort of like a starter substance, but I honestly think you should be a little more experienced before you use it, just because it can be all over the place. Um, but anyway, what else can I say about it? I guess that's it. And then after that, it's done. And oh yeah, you should wait like with every, well not everything, but certain things like psilocybin and LSD. You should wait about a week or two in between using it again. I mean, ideally like 2 weeks or more would be even better, because otherwise you'll get like dull effects. Um, so yeah, because tolerance builds up. So yeah, waiting about 2 weeks in between using it is probably the best. Otherwise, you're basically just you're just wasting what you have, because it's going to be like a dull effect. Like seriously, it could be like literally like 25% of the effect, depending on the substance, or even less. It's like I said, you're just wasting your shit, because you're gonna have to do more to try to get the same feeling, or you're just gonna be like disappointed. So it's better to have discipline and do other stuff with your life, integrate what you've learned while you're waiting, or do something else, like switch up different substances. That's what's great about it. There's so many. um, and then come back to the other one, whatever you're doing, ecstasy or whatever, like, 2 weeks later. Anyway, so yeah, that's my little audio log on that.